Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Inter Milan eye Aaron Wan-Bissaka as replacement for Denzel Dumfries. Inter Milan have identified Manchester United right-back Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a replacement for Denzel Dumfries this summer, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. The Nerazzurri have been unable to agree fresh terms with Dumfries over the past few months, and he could be sold for €30 million, with Aston Villa interested. Amidst this, the San Siro Giants have earmarked Wan-Bissaka as a potential replacement. The 26-year-old wants a new experience away from the Premier League. Gazzetta dello Sport claimed that Inter sporting director Piero has already been in contact with Wan-Bissaka's agent. He spoke with them last year. The Nerazzurri signed right-back Buchanan in January from Club Brugge, but manager Simone Inzaghi sees him as a deputy for Di Marco on the left. Wan-Bissaka has had a mixed campaign with the Red Devils. He had an injury-plagued start to the season, as Diogo Dalot established himself as the regular right-back. Over recent weeks, Wan-Bissaka has predominantly played as a left-back, with injuries to Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia and Victor Lindelof. He has been inconsistent from the role. The Englishman had a poor outing against Brentford, where he was constantly overlapped against Liverpool last week, and he conceded a costly penalty in a 2-2 draw. Wan-Bissaka's current deal expires in June next year. As things stand, United have not made any progress over a renewal and could be leaning towards a potential sale. The club have their sights on landing Bayer Leverkusen's Jeremy Frimpong. They will be aiming to recoup part of the £34 million fee required by offloading their £50 million signing. Wan-Bissaka could go on to establish himself as a key player for the Nerazzurri. Matteo Darmian, now 34, is currently the regular right wing-back choice under Inzaghi. Rio Ferdinand Blasts Manchester United's inability to involve Rasmus Hojlund more. Rio Ferdinand believes that Manchester United are falling into bad habits again and not making the most out of Rasmus Hojlund. The young Dane has had a Jekyll and Hyde style start to his United career, plundering 5 goals in 6 Champions League games but failing to score a single domestic goal until finally breaking his duck in a dramatic Boxing Day victory over Aston Villa. This became the catalyst for the youngster to score 7 Premier League goals in 6 matches and grab 13 in all competitions before the end of February. However, disaster struck as he was ruled out with an injury after scoring a brace against Luton Town in mid-February. Hojlund would make his return against Liverpool in the FA Cup in March, but in the 4 games since returning from injury, he has not scored a goal. Worryingly, he has only had 1 shot on target in those 4 matches, according to SofaScore, as he has once again cut a frustrated, isolated figure. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Vibe with 5, United legend Rio Ferdinand has also drawn attention to his asserting. He said, "Look at Hojlund. How many balls did we get into the box for him? How many balls are we getting in the channel for him to run onto? We don't seem to be playing to his strength." Sadly, this has been a recurrent theme over the season. It looked at the turn of the year that the club had found a solution to this particular problem, but it seems they are falling back into their old ways. Bruno Fernandez warns Kobe Mainoo about potential struggles next year. Manchester United's captain Bruno Fernandes has provided a word of caution for a breakout star Kobe Mainoo. Both players lit Old Trafford up last weekend as they each scored spectacular goals in the contest. Mainoo has been a sensation in this campaign since his impressive full debut against Everton in November. His mature and skillful performances have delighted fans and pundits alike, and his fine form saw him called up to the England squad in March. The 18-year-old is now seen by most as United's most important midfield option and stands a strong chance of being selected for England's senior Euro 2024 squad this coming summer. Quite the meteoric rise for a player who was sharing his time between the club's under 18s and 21s this time last year. However, according to his captain, the youngster may not find next year so easy. While speaking on the Athletics Talk of the Devils podcast, respected United journalist Andy Mitten claimed that he had heard some comments Fernandez had made about Mainu after the match against Liverpool. The journalist said, "It's interesting. I was listening to Bruno Fernandez after the game, speaking to Viaplay Norway. He was talking to them about Mainu and about, obviously, he's had a fantastic impact on the team this season, but he was talking to him about what comes next. When you are first in the side and first at this level, you are a surprise to people. There are elements that are easier for you because no one knows anything about you. It might not come this season, but it may come next season that it gets a little bit tougher for Kobe because people know your game and they know how to stop you and they have got different plans for you and ultimately different ways to go about nullifying your effect on the game." But he was also saying he is humble, he is hardworking, he is smart, he is talented, and he feels like he will be able to work it out. Man United back in the race to sign Juventus midfielder Adrien Rabiot. Manchester United and Newcastle United have been linked with Juventus midfielder Adrien Rabiot amid the breakdown in contract talks at the Serie A club. The Red Devils were interested in signing the Frenchman in the summer of 2022. A fee worth €20 million was agreed with the Bianconeri, but a transfer did not materialize due to personal terms. Rabiot was eyeing close to €10 million per year, but United were unwilling to meet his demands. The club have continued to be linked with Rabiot, and Calciomercato today report that United and Newcastle could be contenders to sign him on a free transfer due to his Premier League dream. The midfielder is currently on an annual €7 million deal at Juventus until June this year. Contract talks have reportedly stopped between the Bianconeri and Rabiot's mother and agent Veronique. United boss Erik ten Hag personally spoke with Rabiot to convince him over a move in 2022. The midfielder was impressed by the same, but a deal broke down over personal terms. Rabiot has since been a key player for the Bianconeri, but he could choose a new challenge this summer, with the Serie A giants reluctant to increase his wages amid their tight financial status. In our opinion, the Red Devils may not revive their interest in Rabiot. The 2022 World Cup finalist is already 29 years of age and could be past his prime in the next 1 or 2 seasons. United have already experienced a similar situation with Christian Eriksen and Casemiro. Both players stood out last term but have been far from their best in the current campaign. Hence, we don't see a deal happening. Judging by his past demands, Rabiot could hold out for £164,000 per week, alongside a significant signing on bonus for joining on a free transfer. Newcastle could be tempted to make a contract proposal, with midfielder Sandro Tonali potentially facing another ban for betting breaches. Manchester United have made contact with Bayer Leverkusen over signing Jeremy Frimpong. Manchester United are expecting a busy summer, with Ineos taking charge of their first transfer window and charge of the sporting structure at the club. Plenty of activity is predicted, with both incomings and outgoings on the cards at Old Trafford. United have long been rumoured with adding a right back to their squad since the arrival of Erik ten Hag last summer. However, given the need of surgery to other areas of the first team, coupled with Diogo Dalot's resurgence, additions in the position have taken a backseat. Or so we thought. Now Sport Bild via Sport Witness are reporting that United are now ready to sign a right back and have earmarked their number one choice. Bayer Leverkusen's Jeremy Frimpong is the leading candidate for the role, and United have reportedly made some contact with the German club. Frimpong reportedly came close to signing for United last summer, with it having been claimed that he had to be crossed off the list due to the unexpectedly high fee paid for Rasmus Hojlund. In fact, it was reported that he had already said his goodbyes in Germany before the deal fell through. It's not surprising, therefore, that United might have come back in for him again. Swapping Leverkusen for Manchester would usually represent a no-brainer for a player, but given the club's contrasting seasons, Frimpong will need some convincing. Leverkusen are incredibly still unbeaten across all competitions this campaign, and just one win away from securing the Bundesliga title, whilst still on course for a historic treble. It's reported Xabi Alonso has no intention of selling Frimpong, but his €40 million release clause may take the decision out of the manager's hands. However, the clause only runs until the start of the Euros in the summer, June 14th, so United will need to act fast if they are serious about onboarding the Dutchman. Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are the other interested parties, so persuading Frimpong to come to Old Trafford would represent a major cup for Ineos. The 23-year-old has enjoyed a wonderful season and rightly has a glamorous line of suitors. Manchester United's long-term target Kingsley Coman open to England move. Long-term Manchester United target Kingsley Coman may finally be available to make a switch to Old Trafford this summer. The Red Devils' lack of quality on the wings this season has been plain for all to see, as only Alejandro Garnacho has hit the heights expected of him. Marcus Rashford has failed to live up to last season's standards, and Anthony continues to play well below the overall level expected for a United winger. Sport Bild claim that the German side would be willing to talk if a club made a bid of around €70 million for the French international. Vitally, it's also reported that he is open to a new challenge in England or Spain, which would certainly grease the wheels of any potential deal to take him to Old Trafford. The 27-year-old has been a long-term target for the Red Devils, as he was lined up as an alternative option to Jadon Sancho after the club originally missed out on the winger in the summer of 2020. A year later, it was reported that the Red Devils were offering a lucrative wage packet to secure the signing of the talented winger, but yet again, no deal materialized. The Frenchman has become a crucial member of the Bayern Munich team, and in 9 seasons at the club, he has scored 63 goals in 293 appearances. The Frenchman was also the Bavarian team's match winner in the 2020 Champions League final, as he had it in the game's only goal against Paris Saint-Germain. Coman has also been capped 55 times for France, scoring 8 goals for his country. A move for the 27-year-old would certainly go against Ineos' policy of recruiting younger stars on the cusp of breaking out, but perhaps if such an established player were available for such a fee, it may be a deal the Red Devils may consider pulling the trigger on, especially with such a young and inexperienced front line consisting of the 21-year-old Hojlund and 19-year-old Alejandro Garnacho. Arsenal and Man United consider move for £128 million rated attacker. According to Spanish publication Vigaches, Arsenal and Manchester United have expressed interest in signing AC Milan star Rafael Leao this summer. The 24-year-old, who joined San Siro Stadium from Lille in 2019, has become one of Serie A top players in recent years, having helped his team win the Scudetto a few years ago. The Portuguese player had a difficult start to the season, but in the last few games he has shown signs of promise, tallying 12 goals and dishing out 10 assists in 38 appearances across all competitions. Leao is a major target for Arsenal, who seek to bolster their offensive unit in the summer, according to the Vigaches report. The Portuguese player is reportedly valued by Milan at about £128 million, and Arsenal are unwilling to pay that much since they also want to bolster other areas of their squad. Vigaches also claims that Manchester United are prepared to step up their efforts in order to get Leao, meaning the Red Devils might thwart Arsenal's ambitions to acquire the Milan attacker. The Portuguese player is talented and may be a wise addition to Manchester United or Arsenal. However, Leao's work rate of the ball isn't up to the standards established by the managers of Gunners and the Red Devils, since both Arteta and Ten Hag like using a high pressing approach. Leao typically plays left wing position for both his club and his country. He is powerful, fast, and adept at dribbling past opposing defenders in confined spaces. He can also connect plays, create opportunities for other attackers, and finish plays well. Both the clubs would find it difficult to match Milan's high asking price for the Portugal international. It is expected to be a busy summer transfer window at the Emirates Stadium and Old Trafford, with both the teams needing additions in a number of different positions. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.